much, Mum. Right, welcome back everybody. We're back and we just came out of Gloucester Lock. We cruised 16 miles this morning, got up at 8, left at 10 past 8 I think. And oh god, that log.
That's a big log.
I will. Thanks for giving me more work. Let's have a look at this log a minute.
That's a big one. There's a big crocodile. That's what the guy said. Watch out for the crocodile.
Yeah, so we cruised 15 miles down to Gloucester. The tide is actually even bigger today. But we called him out and I said, oh, just check what the perfect time is to go out. And because each day the tide moves an hour forward, so 2 days later, the high tide now, even though it's 11 upper load, when we came down on Wednesday, now it'll probably be about 1 o'clock. So he said perfect time to go out is 11:30, and we've got the tide pushing us up. And it's
made it.
Yeah.
11.
Perfect time. It couldn't have been any perfect better. Really.
Actually, something's gone right for us guys. Perfect timing.
Be careful, because.
Oh, don't speak too soon.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say anything.
But yeah. So this will be pushing us all the way up. So we'll be going quite fast.
6 miles per hour.
We didn't want to be having to fight against the current, especially on a 10.3 metre tide, when sometimes the tide can only be half that, 5 metres, and it won't even go above the weir, so this section won't even be tidal. But this is almost as high as you can get tide, which actually works out better. It's a lot easier coming out of Gloucester Locks because instead of the weir pulling you into it, it pushes you out actually this time because the tide's coming over the top of the weir. So it's a lot safer, a lot easier. So yeah, now we're going to cruise all the way back up to upper load. Shouldn't take too long, a couple of hours. And then,
they tell them, do they, Josh?
Yeah, I think so, but we're calling before we get there.
Because I haven't done this way. You've done this way with this dad.
Yeah, so, and then we'll see how far we can get. So earlier today we set off from Sharpness and we made our way back to Gloucester and through Gloucester Lock and on to the tidal River Severn, which is where we are now. We're going to be making our way up to upper load, but once we do make it to safe water, if we do, then we've got a few hours cruise up to Worcester, a little bit further to Hawford, where we can get on to the Droitwich Barge Canal, 40 miles and 6 locks. Already we could see that this tide was a lot worse than the tide we came down on. There was so much more debris. And then we got to the partings. The tide was coming in at about 10 miles per hour up from the lower River Severn, and we honestly did not expect what was going to happen next. Don't turn too much, Mum! Mum, don't turn too much! Don't turn too much with it, okay? Don't turn too much with it. Annoyingly, I cocked up here and I didn't film it. But what had happened was the boat hit the current coming in and it pushed it so fast and so hard, and Mum steered into it, which was a bit of a mistake, and the boat went at like a 45-degree angle and felt like it was going to capsize. We absolutely SHAT'd ourselves. I went and quickly put the GoPro on because mistakenly I didn't have it on before, and I would have caught the current and it would have been got such a good shot. But you have to remember, I didn't have any storage space left back then. All my hard drives were full, so I was trying to reserve how much storage I had. But we were flying along at 10 miles per hour now, and I think that's the fastest we've ever been. I think we weren't even that when we left Denver Sluice and went out and did the wash. It just doesn't feel right for a narrowboat to move this quick, and honestly, this was serious now. We were literally worried, and we just wanted to get to upper load and get off the tidal Severn because this was not fun. Eventually we slowed down and the water went more brackish, and things turned a bit more like a river and less of a tidal river. Eventually we made it to upper load and into the safety of the regular River Severn. I say safety, but the Severn has not been kind to us in the past and has not felt safe at all. But it is on green boards at the moment, so it's about safe as it can be. Well, we made it, we survived.
We're still alive, just. God.
Tell you what, that was one of the scariest moments. Up there with the tiller snapping off. And it was on Severn again.
Don't want to do that again, thank you very much.
Well, it wouldn't be. It'll be alright if it's not tidal, because sometimes, most of the time, it's not tidal. But yeah, God, we got hit by that current coming out around there.
Yeah.
That was just scary.
Very, very scary that was, honestly. I vowed I wouldn't do the bloody Severn after the tiller.
We're going 10 miles per hour.
It's just so, and the flow is so, and you've got trees coming down with you.
Yeah.
Like massive trees coming down.
You've got to dodge them and
you have to avoid.
God.
It's awful. Oh.
So just don't do it on spring tide. Don't.
We're just going to try and we're trying to do this in one day, get off the Severn. So.
There's a lot of rain coming in. I mean a lot. There's a lot, just low pressure. What was happening at the moment, we had the trajectory was north for us, so all the lows were going up north. Now we're getting some thunderstorms today and over the weekend because of the low coming up from the south.
Well, I think it's going to pee tonight.
Next week, the low pressures are going to be coming our way, and it's going to be a lot of rain into the Severn. So yeah, we'd ideally want to get off today.
Well, that's where you come off, is it?
Yeah, that's the Avon. Yeah, just past the Avon. But it's 4 hours to Diglas. We're trying to do it a bit quicker. And that's the only, well, there's one place in more Upton, which is in between. Lock shut at 6 o'clock. I would love to have gone through Lincoln as well, Lincoln Lock, and then onto the Droitwich Barge Canal, because I much prefer that over the Worcester and Birmingham. But I don't think we'll make it in time. We'll see. But yeah, thankfully we're on the non-tidal section now.
Yeah, this is lovely.
Until it goes on red.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's lovely at the moment. It's on green at the moment, but we can't. I'm not taking the risk.
No, not
it's funny because I said to Josh, I don't want to go on the River Severn when it's in yellow, and that was, I think that
was like going downstream on a red board.
Oh my god, it was just unbelievable.
Anyway, we survived to tell the tale. This is Mythe Bridge, is that how you say it? And I knew just looking at it, this has got a bit of Thomas Talfourd Bridge, and it is. You can just tell with Talfourd, he absolutely loved his cast iron work. And I gotta say, Talfourd, you did a splendid job with this one, mate. And he even thought so himself. He wrote, I reckon this is the most handsomest bridge which has been built under my direction. I can't believe my eyes. Commercial traffic. Wow. This has to be one of the only places I've seen commercial traffic on the canals and rivers. These are Cementex gravel barges. The smallest has a 350-ton capacity. And as you can see, it is extremely low in the water. Their water draft must be about 6 or 7 foot deep. The transport of bulk aggregates by river barge has proven an environmentally friendly operation. It is fuel efficient and much less disturbing than transit lorries by country roads. And they're actually expanding the business by seeking further planning permission for more sand and gravel extraction along the River Severn. It is so great to see that commercial traffic is still viable on the rivers and canals. I mean, if there were locks, then it probably would be a different case, wouldn't it? But thankfully there's no locks on this section they use. Just before we got to Diglas, we actually seen some traffic on the river. There was a boat ahead of us who was going extremely slow, so we did actually overtake him, and there was a boat coming towards us. We called up Diglas to let them know we were coming, but when we got there, it still wasn't open. So we were floating about for a bit, being pushed all over the place, and I was getting a bit worried actually, because the boat was starting to swing a bit too much. But we managed to get into the lock and into safety, and then made it up Diglas and up to Worcester. Thankfully we made the right choice and we were going to the Droitwich Barge Canal, because if we didn't, that would have been very awful timing. 2 boats going up, but that does bring back bad memories of when we had to escape off the River Severn after it went up 6 foot overnight in the spring, and we have to even swing the bridge. And this is the last section of the River Severn we haven't done before. This short little section from Diglas to Bevere. It's a bittersweet moment, and it is nice to see Worcester from this perspective.
Oh my god, look at the swans! Yeah. This would have been a struggle on red boards.
This is actually a brand new bridge, which was very recently built. It wasn't even open when we went through it, but I imagine it probably is open now. At last we made it to Bevere Lock, the last lock of the River Severn we haven't done before, and with 45 minutes to spare, as at 6 o'clock the river effectively closes, as that's when the CRT staff go home, so we just about made it in time. And we then saw at Hawford Lock the entrance to the Droitwich Barge Canal, which brought back very bad memories of the spring. And shout out to you guys if you were around back then when we tried to go up the River Severn on yellow boards and ended up snapping our tiller off. Make sure you go back and watch that video, it's quite entertaining.
Oh no.
And just like that, we were off of the River Severn, and just in the nick of time really, because the rain was coming in tonight and wouldn't be stopping for quite a while. And I have to tell you, we did make the right decision. And that is it for us and rivers this year. We do have one small little river to do next time, but yep, let's close the book on the rivers for 2024. You do not want to mess with them between October and April really.